After breaking the blockade of the demon armies and defeating Discari, the Crusade forces close in on the Threshold Fortress. The place where 100 years ago, the first rift between the planes was opened. The place where this story will end.
Rely on me.
The wrong monster.
No glory without risk. As it should be. Against our resolve.
You won't survive me.
Into the fray!
endure this!
That is not far. In due time. All according to plan.
The light take you!
Make every strike.
Prepare yourself!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
I'll go. That is not far.
I will help where I can.
Smile. The world's not ending just yet.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
won't survive me. Endure this!
To the fray! Ha!
Make every strike count.
Desna, guide my hand.
The light! Take you!
I will see to your demise. You crossed the wrong mongrel.
Make your peace.
A dear guest on my doorstep. Please do come in. You have been long awaited. Nothing at all. There will be no more games, trust me. And I definitely won't run. There is too much at stake. The path to your souls and the world womb's healing demands my death. The accursed threshold prison where everything began must be where everything comes to an end. So I invite you in once again. Cross this threshold. I'll be waiting for you in the heart of the fortress, in the place where the wound was opened.
In due time. All according to plan.
Commander, you promised us victory when it seemed impossible, and you did not let us down. Doing the impossible is your specialty. You have led us here, to the very gates of the enemy's lair. Now we will end this century-long nightmare once and for all.
You're so good at toppling fortresses by now, you can almost keep time by it. The Grey Garrison, Dresden, and now Threshold. So are we coming up on noon or midnight on the commander clock? Doesn't matter. The bards can settle that one. It's the hour of your triumph. Of course. It was a long time ago now, but it's not the kind of thing you forget. I was almost buried alive. If it wasn't for you and Sela, my skull would be lying in some cave right now with only rats for company.
It was unforgettable. That attack on the Grey Garrison was the last desperate push, the last hope of holding the city when it seemed only a miracle could save us. We would have died there. But you and Anevia leapt out of the ground, and then miracles began to happen.
We have a chance. And that's a far sight better than how things stood not so long ago. Of course, it's too early to celebrate. We've still got a battle to fight, the likes of which we've never seen before. But I think you can pull it off.
With you leading us, those monsters should be worrying about their chances of escaping with their lives.
Personally, I'm going to be doing a big pile of nothing. For a month, or maybe 2. Hyrabeth too. Wheedling, blackmail, violence. I'll stop at nothing to drag her away on her first ever vacation.
Whatever you say, I can see surrender as my only option. We've waited so long for this. Onward to victory!
Lead on, Commander.
I'll go ahead.
This endeavor rushes toward its conclusion. I wish to speak with you. To be honest, I almost stopped believing that I would live to see this moment. It has been at least 50 years since I stopped hoping and believing it could happen. And yet, here we are, at the entrance to Threshold. All thanks to you. I have made a great many mistakes in my life, and I suppose I shall pay for every one of them, in this life or in the afterlife. But few mistakes became apparent to me as quickly and as painfully as my feud with you. I feel really happy. I mean it. I thought I would not have enough strength to drag this burden of regrets along to the final battle. I am going to rule Mendev. What else? I do not seem to have much choice in that. I have become a symbol of battle and of the war for our liberation. I hope I am wise enough to become a symbol of peace, too. You are right. I shall fulfill your request, although it will be difficult. No one in Mendev knows the sacrifice that the creation of the Ward Stones demanded. The stones themselves are seen as a symbol of hope and safety. To destroy them would be akin to dismantling the fortress walls around Mendev's cities. It will provoke suspicion and panic, even if the demons are defeated by that time. But the angels have done their duty and should be freed. Therefore, should we win, I shall carry out your request, even if it means losing the people's trust. Yes, of course. May Iomedae be with you, or any other higher power you believe in.
there any chance, even a tiny one, that we can just call this whole thing off now and go home? Before, I would have just made a run for it, but I can't do that now. Something is holding me back, and I really don't like the thought of leaving you high and dry. See what you turned me into? If you want to send me to the front line, I ain't going, so don't even try that hero stuff on me. I'm gonna fight because I don't want to die. And because we're kind of friends now. And don't you go getting yourself killed either. I can't stand being sad, so just don't do that to me. Uh-huh, likewise. Well, come on. What are you standing around for? Go and command this crusade of yours. Let's try to wrap this up quick. That reminds me, the Tiefling's merchandise is still at your disposal. So don't be afraid to ask if you find yourself in need of something.
Not a bad spot to end this war. Formidable, menacing. It has a certain style about it. Seeing as our contract is coming to an end, Commander, let me just say that you are the most impressive client I've ever had the pleasure to work with. And a highly lucrative pleasure it's been, too. Of course not. Where else would I have had so many adventures? Besides, it's thanks to you that I've been able to add so many accomplishments to my service record, which will boost my rates in the future. You know, it's jobs like this, the ones that are both fun and pay well, that make me love what I do. It's strong stuff from Garand. What do you think? That was almost convincing. But you, Commander, are better off finding a different self-destructive habit for yourself. I don't think tobacco is for you. Huh. Well, it sure wasn't in the name of Iomedae. Of course, money's not the be-all and end-all. You dimwits need someone with a clear head on your side. Someone to watch your back. I know how you hero types love sacrificing yourselves at the drop of a hat. Now you're talking. Why don't you show me who it is we need to kill to win this war? Aurilu Vorlesh? I'll wish that lady sweet dreams with unalloyed pleasure.
So this is it then. The final push. The last battle where the great heroes will vanquish Aurilu Vorlesh and close the world wound, ridding Galarian of a deadly threat. That is how the Chronicles will tell it, I'm sure. You know very well, my friend, that this was never my war. I was merely following the person who offered me protection. I could not have cared less where you led me. And I still do not care about the cause for which we are fighting. I probably ought to have cast you off, rather than lay my head on the chopping block alongside yours. But I've grown attached to you now. I don't like the idea of you perishing in this place. That is why I shall help you win. Don't thank me. Not here, not now. I simply felt that I ought to tell you the truth. Nothing more. It seems I have grown overly sentimental after all our travels. Rush headlong into battle, come what may. I approve of this plan.
This is it. The last fortress. It's been a long road from the river city to here. We walked and walked and walked along the road, and suddenly, there's no more road. Nobody is ready. It will be scary, very scary. In the last fortress, all the lies will end, and the truth will rise. It's scary, but it's good. Nobody knows what will happen next. People are afraid of the future, so that's why they make it up. They lie to themselves so it's not so scary. They convince themselves and others of the things they make up. But But one day the future will come. The story ends, for better or worse. When everything's already happened, there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. The Redeemed Knights say they need me. I think they can manage fine without me, but maybe I really can help them somehow. I think we'll do a lot of good together. Hear that, Soot? It's time.
I am calculating the likelihood of your victory. Taking into consideration the fortifications of Threshold, the long period it has been under demon control, and Arilu Vorlesh, who is personally overseeing the defense, I would give the Crusaders a 30% chance of success at most. Of course, the presence of an illustrious scholar of Golarion in your ranks, meaning me, immediately increases your chances by 5%. Fear is an unproductive emotion that typically gets in the way of a good experiment. And I have never indicated that I do not support my loyal follower in her battle against the demons. I simply calculated your chances of success. If you win, I'll make sure to mention you in my encyclopedia. Aha! With that as an incentive, your chances have increased by 5%. Consider this my contribution to your victory.
My last battle. We win or we die. Either way, I'll never pick up a weapon again. I'm going home. It's been so long. My chance. I've thought a lot about this over the last few days. I don't want revenge anymore. I just want all this to be over. No, I can't rest yet. Celsia will be fighting. That means I will be too. To battle for the last time.
There it is. The Citadel, the Demon Army. You know, I expected it to be formidable and fearsome. Something that would make me quake in terror. But now that I am standing at its gates, I'm surprised at how little fear I feel. Do not mistake this for bravado. Our enemies are dangerous, but no more than that. We have traveled to the heart of the Abyss, and back again. Now we are home, on our own territory. This time, let it be the invaders who quake in terror. When I set out for war, I imagined that I would find Trevor, and together we would fight the demons, shoulder to shoulder. Fate has a caustic sense of humor. My dream came true, but not at all as I imagined. The reality of war shattered many of my romantic notions. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that he is here with us. And today we will win, all of us together. I will go home to Endorn. I will lay down my weapon and never pick up another so long as I live. Save a knife for cutting grapevines. I will serve the goddess in our old temple. And when the peasant children come to pepper me with questions about the crusade, I will do my utmost to make sure that my stories give none the idea that there is anything beautiful or romantic about war. I had to. If I had a choice, I probably would have stayed the same naive little boy I was before the war. The boy who had never killed, who had never been to the Abyss, who had never buried those with whom he had sat around a campfire only the night before. Even so, when I set out to join this war, my head was full of so many romantic notions. More than usual for a naive little boy. But life found a way to shatter those most thoroughly. Ready. Let us drive the demons all the way back to the Abyss!
Greetings. Allow me to congratulate you on leading the armies of the Fifth Crusade to its decisive confrontation. Excellent. At last, a real achievement and a genuine chance of victory. I suppose I am. Being happy is not in my nature, but for the first time in years, I feel something akin to that emotion. It would be interesting to analyze what I experience when I see the criminal Aurilu Vorlesh defeated, the demons ousted, and the world wound closed at last. It promises to be an exceptional moment. And for me as well, Commander. I am always ready.
So, this is where it all ends. When I first crossed paths with you in Neathholm, I never thought I'd end up in the very heart of the world wound. You certainly know how to enjoy yourself. Of course! I'll find the largest pile of spoils, sit down on it, and scare off anyone who even thinks of stealing any of it. It's almost as if you don't know me at all. Our years of exile have given us quite the score to settle. And today, the demons will pay for everything.
You know what's crazy? I never thought this moment would come so soon. It feels like only yesterday we were trying to bring a blazing Canabras under control, and now we're standing on the cusp of our last battle. Threshold. This isn't how I imagined it. I thought I'd be running happily toward death and trying to do something particularly heroic so I could go out in style. But now, I'm thinking about how we have to win and go back to Dresden because there's so much work still to do there. Me too. You've got a whole army behind you, and we're all ready to win. If we fail now, when we've got this far, then that means the Crusades were always doomed to fail. We've been going easy on these demons for too long, don't you think? It's time to show them one last time what Galarians are capable of.
So this is it then? Threshold. Grubby little spot, isn't it? Looking around, I'm thinking to myself, maybe if we'd built it somewhere else, not in this God's forsaken hole, somewhere nicer, maybe than Aurilu, here's her name, wouldn't have revolted. But anyway, what's the use in wondering? Well, War Chief, are you ready? Ready to thrash all these Fae and Oglins and other Puxies? Ready to boot that king of the grasshoppers back to his magical beetle land? But then, what would we have done with all the witches and mages? Maybe you're right. If we didn't bother them, they wouldn't bother us. Folk live like that in other countries with no problems at all. And they don't have world wounds opening up on them. And then, if you think about it, mages aren't the problem. Problem's them Oglins and Fae that were chomping at the bit to get into our world. Without Aurilu, Discari, that dirty bug, would have just found other allies. Like my worthless brother. Still not long enough for me to know the difference between all the kinds of foul creatures. Remembering their names isn't my job. My job's beating them so hard they don't remember their own. What am I not going to do? That's the easier question. In war, there's only two things you can do. Kill and die. In times of peace, there's no end to the things a man can do. I think I'll head to Gundren. After all their hardships, they could do with my help. Fight! For Sarkoris! For the Oles clan! For the War Chief!
There it is. The heart of the wound. The source of all the evil that has been wrought here over the last 100 years. It all began here. And we will end it here. If Aurilu Vorlesh had never opened the world wound, I would never have ended up on Galarian. I would never have met Desna. Or you. I would never have embarked on the path of good. This invasion has killed so many innocent people. but it has also led to my redemption. It means my freedom has been bought with thousands of innocent lives. But I will do everything in my power to help you close this abomination so that no one else has to die. I did not do it alone. You have led your army to victory and me to my dream. It's not about guilt. It's just that I am ashamed to take any joy in my freedom, knowing that this terrible war was the cause of it. Everyone would have been better off if the world wound had never been opened. But then I would have remained a monster. Perhaps one day I will atone for all the evil I did. But it took a far greater evil to make my redemption even possible. Now have a dream of my own. I will pursue it. I am ready. Let the abyss tremble in fear.
Hey! Well, are we gonna stick it to the demons one last time? I haven't had time to think about it. All of my thoughts are focused on the coming battle. But I think I'll stay here a while, help the world to return to a life of peace and catch any demons that aren't dead yet. And I don't want to leave all my friends either. When we have peace, there will finally be time to spend with everybody. And after that, well, stick a pin in a map. There are still many places in the world where people are in need of help. Wherever the road takes me, I'll find a way to put my blade to use. And this block of wood. Back at you, friend. So, are we going to crush some demons? It's time to show them the door once and for all!
At last, this irksome crusade is drawing to a close. All right, it hasn't been that irksome. All in all, it was a fine adventure, and the company was more than adequate. The most important outcome of today, of course, will be that I shall be immortalized in works of art depicting the Fifth Crusade as the most attractive crusader. Oh, that's what you think, is it? Allow me to remedy that. See? I can be quite demonstrative when I wish. And now everyone knows we're involved. What else can I do to make my feelings known? Shall I dance a jig before the troops? Do you think that would raise morale? Oh, that reminds me. I keep forgetting to ask. What would you say to adding yet another title to your procession of pompous appellations? How does Countess Arunde strike you? Well, that's all I need to hear to know that today will be a roaring success. Although I wouldn't be opposed to also hearing the words, "We captured Threshold! We won!" No, my darling, I am not afraid. I have seen you emerge unscathed from every calamity and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat too many times to count. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but all will be well. And to the victory feast, I trust?
Together, we stand.
Every succubus can. There is one more aspect to a profane gift.
The darkness.
You won't survive me.
I will resist!
A bright future awaits us.
Yet another obstacle.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
I sense something. I'm glad I was useful to you.
No, they did. Endure this!
No glory without risk!
Prepare yourself!
Make every strike count.
In due time.
Something is not right here.
Enemy approaching!
Precision and grace.
I finished here.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Into the fray!
I'll make short work of this.
Desna, guide my hand!
reason to pause.
All according to plan.
They will break against our resolve.
You won't survive me.
Make your peace.
Out of my sight!
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Endure this!
I will resist!
I will see to your demise.
No glory without risk.
Make every strike count.
Prepare yourself!
The lights take you.
I'll go ahead.
I sense something. The struggles never cease. I finished here. Is there more?
Precision and grace.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Desna, guide my hand!
I'll make short work of this.
Into the fray.
can't be dismissed as a calculation error. You knew failure was a possibility. Then why? Why? Yes, it's decided. I will tell you the truth before we fight to the death. Would you like to know why I upended your life? This place is my demi-plane. I created it when I was a prisoner in Threshold. I would slip away to conduct my rituals here in secret. This is where I decided to create what mortals would later call the World Wound. This is where I made all my preparations. Do you understand? Escaping was never my goal. I could have easily disappeared from Threshold. I could have passed through it like water through sand. Some believe that I brought Sarkoris to ruin out of revenge, and I suppose there is some truth to that. I did have reason for revenge. You've been to this secret part of my laboratory and know what I'm talking about. Or at least you have an inkling. My laboratory. The old house in the middle of nowhere that marked the entrance to my lab. It was the home of Arilu Vorlesh when I was still a mere mortal. I lived there with my daughter away from the din of the crowd and sheltered from the keen gaze of the Sarkorian witch hunters. It was a place where the reality of our world was in close proximity to the abyss. A place where I could study the magic forbidden to all Sarkorians. I thought I had hidden my home well, but I was wrong. They found it. They found us. At that hour, I was there, in the laboratory. That damned laboratory I loved so much. I was absorbed in one of my experiments when the hunters arrived on our doorstep. I was sitting at my desk, recording my observations, thoughts, and calculations, as was my habit. That's when I heard the noise outside. The fight was brief. It barely lasted a moment. By the time I sensed that something was amiss and hurried out to see what was happening, it was too late. All I could do was cradle the body of my dead child and cry after their departing soul. I promise. Because they saw her with a scroll she had secretly borrowed from my supply. She was trying to perform a forbidden ritual. Children, they're always drawn to the unknown. But for the Threshold hunters, this child playing with a magical trinket she stole from an adult was just as much of a criminal as the worst demon worshippers. I am not concerned with whether it was justified or not, or with the application of morality, the law, or the teachings of any god. Look around you. This demi-plane. The first time I escaped from my cell and ran here, I was trying to resurrect my daughter. I tried many things, but all my efforts were in vain. The soul had already received Pharasma's judgment and had been sent on the path determined by the gods into the abyss. And when I realized that, I rebelled. But not against my jailers, not against those who had murdered my child, not even against Sarkoris. My uprising was against destiny, death, and the laws that the gods had forced upon our lives. I realized then that I wouldn't be satisfied with simply returning my daughter to life. I had to shatter this order once and for all, and make it so that neither Pharasma and her lackeys, nor death itself, could ever stand between us. Only by stepping beyond the bounds of what had been ordained for mortal kind, by obtaining powers that rivaled the divine, could we become free. And with this newfound purpose, I turned myself into a half-demon. Fusing the spiritual essence of the two planes was the only way I could achieve my goal. I let the abyss into my soul, and into this world. I opened the world wound. I danced around 3 demon lords, making them assist me without ever revealing my true intentions. They just believed they were dealing with another power-hungry mortal. But in reality, I was after one thing. I wanted to find what was left of my daughter's soul and give her a new birth. One that would prevent anything from ever harming her again. And then I found you. I chose you because I felt a faint affinity to you. I thought your soul could accept the remains of my daughter's soul, like the soil accepts a seed. I thought that I could bring back my child by tethering the mangled remnants of her soul to a pure mortal soul untouched by the abyss. I thought the power of the Nahindrian crystals would allow me to protect her forever. That I could tear her away from the dominion of mortal nature. But I was mistaken in both assumptions. Now I'm about to face the consequences of my mistake. You will witness them as well.
Survive me.
your peace.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
I will see to your demise.
I will resist!
Make every strike count.
We will win this war.
You should not have come here. I, Arilu Vorlesh, the one you called the Betrayer, have nothing to offer you but death. Karamzadeh, I will give you the chance to avenge your death. Rise!
Curse you, mortal scum! You have struck ice into my heart. I will devour your souls to loosen its freezing grip.
I won't let you hurt my friends.
cut you wide open!
This kibble is...
Retreat is not an option.
The spirits demand your blood!
mortal who ventured recklessly into the abyss has now reached threshold. In his, you struck down my creator and master, Discari. But if that makes you dismissive of his echo, if you think I do not pose a threat, then you are greatly mistaken. I was hunting the hand of the inheritor in the abyss, not you. And what a good hunt it was. But now things are different. Now you are the prey I covet more than anything else. Master is in the abyss, in his realm. No, he does not wish to meet with you yet. A demon lord cannot afford 2 deaths in succession. It will kill them permanently. Just another mortal who thinks she can be something more than food for the forces of the abyss. He lost to you. He lost. The great Discari himself lost to a mortal. So what happens if I succeed where the great lord failed? If an echo destroys the one its originator could not defeat, who would that make me? What would it prove? I'll risk my life to know. You are not just my enemy, you are my chance. A chance I won't miss.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Prepare yourself.
The light, take you!
Precision and grace. You won't survive me. You see that?
Together we stand.